Good morning, and today we will go over 8 types of organizational structures. Essentially, these are ways in which organizations are aligned. So the first four of them are traditional designs, simple functional divisional matrix. The the next one is a horizontal design, and we'll go over that. And the last three are hollow, modular, and virtual structures, right? So, firstly, let's look at a traditional simple design, right? It basically involves one owner and one assistant or co-owner. It is meant for small firms, right? The simple structure is often found in a firm very early entrepreneurial stage when the organization is apt to reflect the desires and personality of the owner or the founder. An organization with a simple structure has authority centralized in a single person, a flat hierarchy, few rules, and low work specialization, which essentially means that there's less division of labor and everybody does everything, right? The next one is a functional design. So a functional design is actually grouped by your function or your function at the job or your division or your department, right? It's grouped by similar work specialties. So the administrators are under one chief administrator and basically the various departments under administration, right? Um, and in the functional structure, people with similar occupational specialties are put together in formal groups. This is quite a commonplace structure seen in all kinds of organizations, both for-profit and non-profit. It is like essentially the next step in the evolution of organizational design. Here you will also see that the functions are for the company: marketing, finance, production, HR, things like that. So next is a divisional design, right? Um, so divisional structure is grouping by similar purpose in a divisional structure. People with diverse occupational specialties are put together in formal groups by similar products or services, right? Customers or clients or geographic regions, right? Um, so group product divisions group activities around similar products. Customer divisions tend to group activities around common customers or clients in a specific region, right? So this would be your geographic divisional structure, Western, Northern, Southern, Eastern region, and this would be your customer divisional structure with um, uh, customers that are basically they are basically served depending on what service they're availing of from the organization, right? And this would be the product divisional structure, which is like you have motion pictures, music, magazines, internet product division, things like that. The next design is the matrix design, right? So in a matrix structure, an organization combines functional across like engineering, finance, production, marketing, right here along the horizontal axis. Um, and you have then um, uh, it's kind of a grid where there are two command structures, vertical and horizontal, right? So the horizontal is right here, and the vertical part is right here, right? Um, so um, essentially, the functional structure usually doesn't change. It is the organization's normal departments or divisions, such as finance, engineering, production, marketing, things like that. And the divisional products may vary, for example, by product, by brand, by customer, or geographic region. Here, we're looking at the example of Ford Motors. So they have the Escape, Mustang, Explorer, and Expedition. These are different projects, different cars, different brands. So continuing looking at the example of the Ford Motor Company, we see that an employee who works in engineering, for example, reports to both the vice president of engineering and then reports to also their individual project manager. Suppose this person is, working on the expedition or the explorer. So the person working on the expedition is going to be reporting to their project manager for expedition, as well as to the vice president of engineering. This is the structure that's allegedly prevalent at Ford Motor Companies. Next, we look at horizontal design. In a horizontal structure, also called a team-based design, teams or work groups, either temporary or permanent, are used to improve collaboration and work on shared tasks by breaking down internal boundaries. So you see here, the vice president of R&D is going to be uh, interacting with people working on light trucks, sedans, and sports cars. This is another vehicle manufacturer. So the R&D VP is going to interact with all three of these guys, and so will the marketing VP, right? He will be doing marketing for all three different project teams. So in a horizontal design, eliminating functional barriers, all these people will be communicating with one another. So much for the five different designs that we've already looked at. There are three more remaining. These are designs which essentially open up boundaries, right? And they are hollow, modular, and virtual structures. Now, the first one is the hollow structure, right? It is called the network structure, right? That's primarily because the core of this type of structure is kept small, like a US-based company, and it will interact with their uh, uh, some outsourced process in Sweden, some outsourced process in Canada, and another maybe in some other part of the US, right? Example would be 3M. The company has outsourced multiple aspects of his business for years, including much of his manufacturing, reverse logistics, and a catalog management and e-catalog management function. The next structure would be, or design for a corporation would be the modular structure. So a modular structure happens where instead of outsourcing a process like design or like engineering or R&D, you end up outsourcing pieces of a product, right? A firm assembles chunks or modules provided by outside contractors, really. So what it does is like, for example, if somebody like Apple manufactures phones, what they will do is they will have the touch screen controllers from some company, maybe in Norwood, Massachusetts, right? While other components may come from other parts of the US and allied countries in Europe and the Middle East. The next structure is the virtual structure, and a virtual structure basically involves bringing together people from various parts of the world to work together as a unified company, a single company. So to the outsiders, it looks like one company, but people are located globally, right? That's called a virtual structure. And that would be, I would say, the eighth organizational structure design, and hopefully that was helpful and enlightening in some way. Thanks for listening, and hope you have a great life.